What is going on YouTube? It is your boy MrBaboon back with a reaction video. This time we are reacting to celebrities you didn't know had famous and infamous parents. So we're gonna react to this, all that good stuff. I'm excited. Check the description down below. I got the video and the channel link down below in the description. If you guys want to check it out, go ahead and go check it out. With that being said, we are gonna go ahead and jump right into this reaction. So that being said, first,
It probably won't surprise you to learn that some of the biggest celebrities in the world had parents who were also pretty noteworthy. But Tinseltown isn't the only way to get famous. And some of the most prominent superstars had moms and dads who genuinely made history, for better or worse. So, today, we're putting the spotlight on celebrities with historically significant parents. But before we preach about prolific parentage, why don't you peek at that subscribe button? Then head down to the comments and let us know what other family trees you want us to climb. For now, it's time to follow in some large footsteps. Jim Morrison is one of the most iconic rock musicians of all time. So much so that his gravesite is still visited and revered like the pharaohs of old. The Lizard King has quite the unique and wild persona, probably due to an upbringing equally as quirky and strange, right? Well, not exactly. The writer of The Crystal Ship was the son of an officer you could usually find on a naval ship. George Stephen Morrison served in the U.S. Navy and boasted quite the decorated career for 4 decades of service. Admiral Morrison fought in 3 wars and was on site at Pearl Harbor in 1941 when it was attacked. Though not directly involved, he was in command of the U.S. naval fleet during the Gulf of Tonkin accident, when an American destroyer engaged 3 North Vietnamese vessels, an incident which prompted the U.S. to escalate the Vietnam War. Admiral Morrison could be described as a war hero, yet young Jimmy didn't quite see things that way, rebelling against his family's lifestyle and essentially disowning them after finding fame.
Shit, I did not know that.
President Mobutu Sese Seko of Zaire had a physician by the name of Dr. William Close, a surgeon who also practiced medicine. On August 26, 1976, Close found himself smack dab in the middle of one of the deadliest virus outbreaks ever, the Ebola hemorrhagic fever. It started out small in a missionary hospital in Yambuku, a small village near the Ebola River, which is a heck of a context clue. The virus ended up killing most of the medical staff and caused mass panic throughout the country. Dr. Close sprung into action, containing the virus and using his presidential connections to obtain all the necessary resources needed to battle Ebola. 300 people were infected, but thanks to the efforts of Dr. Close and his team, worldwide spread was close, but no cigar. All the while, his 29-year-old daughter was just getting started out in the acting biz. We know her today as acting legend Glenn Close, one of the 5 most nominated actresses in Academy history.
Shit, I did not know that.
Academy Award-nominated actor Paul Giamatti was lucky enough to never have his childhood go sideways after growing up in a very successful family. His dad, A. Bartlett Giamatti, was president of Yale University for 8 years. And if you think that's successful, his life after presidency involved serving as commissioner of Major League Baseball in 1989. After almost a decade of sculpting young minds, running a baseball league should have been a piece of cake, right? Well, unfortunately, Giamatti's initial season was marred by one of baseball's biggest scandals. Cincinnati Reds manager and all-time hit record holder Pete Rose was accused of betting on games during his time as both manager and player. In August of that same year, Giamatti permanently banned Rose from baseball.
I think I heard about that in a video like years and years ago. I think.
Rendering him ineligible for the Hall of Fame and putting a black spot on his storied baseball history. Just 8 days after the decision, Giamatti passed away from a heart attack.
Can I get your autograph?
Yeah, sure.
It's Pam. What do you want in life, Kevin Von Erich?
Very few Hollywood actresses can hold a candle to the iconic Katharine Hepburn. Her career spanned 6 decades and earned her a whopping 4 Academy Awards. How does someone end up so successful? For Hepburn, It ran in the family. During the early part of the 20th century, the elder Catherine Martha Houghton Hepburn was one of the biggest advocates of the women's suffrage movement, during a time when women didn't have too many advocates. The elder Hepburn was president of the Connecticut Women's Suffrage Association when she teamed up with activist Margaret Sanger, only making their crusade that much more powerful. The duo was very forward-thinking when it came to sex, and argued that women had the right to experience sex without fear of conception, officially launching the birth control movement. Sanger and Hepburn co-founded the American Birth Control League, with Hepburn elected chair of the Committee on Federal Legislation for the aforementioned birth control. In her role, she appeared before many committees and legislatures to push for repeal of anti-birth control laws. Eventually, Hepburn's American Birth Control League would come to be known as Planned Parenthood.
Shit.
Harry Connick
That's pretty
Jr.
cool
is a
to learn
success
about.
in both
Shit.
the jazz world as well as Hollywood. Aside from playing the husband to the titular Grace on Will and Grace, Mr. Connick Jr. has also appeared in Hope Floats, P.S. I Love You, and even Independence Day as Will Smith's friend. You remember the one. But where there's a Harry Connick Jr., there must be a Harry Connick Sr., and the elder Connick is certainly worth knowing about. Unfortunately, Harry Connick the Elder is more infamous than famous. Harry Connick Sr. was elected District Attorney of New Orleans back in 1973, beating out Kennedy assassination conspiracy theorist Jim Garrison in the process. But rather than approaching the office with the even hand of justice, Connick the Elder committed 30 years' worth of prosecutorial misconduct. For reference, that's a lot. In possibly his most egregious courtroom blunder, Connick Sr. sentenced John Thompson to death for a 1984 murder after suppressing evidence that would have supported Thompson's innocence, and Thompson sat in prison for 18 years until DNA evidence exonerated him. He was awarded $14 million in a civil lawsuit for his troubles. However, not willing to let an innocent man get away without any punishment, Connick Sr. argued Thompson's verdict all the way to the U.S. Supreme Court, where he was found not liable, screwing Thompson out of his $14 million in the process.
Damn.
Tupac Shakur may be gone, but his iconic and controversial rap career is still talked about to this day, and it turns out his family was just as controversial as he was. Tupac's mom, Alice Williams, joined the Black Panther Party and changed her name to Afeni. While with the group, she racked up 156 charges against her while pregnant with her son, in what would become known as the Panther 21 case, in which defendants were accused of conspiracy to carry out a series of bombings. Just before Tupac was born in May of 1971, all charges were dismissed and Afeni was a free woman. She married Mutulu Shakur, who raised Tupac even though he was not Shakur's biological child. Not to deviate from the trend of controversial Shakur family members, Mutulu found himself on the FBI's 10 most wanted fugitives for the robbery of an armored truck.
Damn.
Hugh Laurie
not know
enjoyed a
that.
respected career in comedy before becoming a
did not know
household
that.
name as Dr. Gregory House on Fox's medical drama, House. It makes sense that his rise to fame would be related to the medical field, since his pops, Ran Laurie, worked as a physician, though not a world-famous one. No, Rand's claim to fame comes from the sport of rowing, not running as his name would suggest. He snatched several rowing titles throughout the 1930s, but Laurie's boat really started picking up speed when he was chosen for Great Britain's 8-person rowing team at the 1936 Olympics in Berlin. Yep, those 1936 Olympics. The team placed 4th, narrowly missing a medal in what would be the last Olympic Games for several years due to World War II. But afterward, Laurie and his partner Jack Wilson won gold in their home country at the 1948 Games. Decades later, Hugh Laurie would follow in his dad's footsteps, rowing for the University of Cambridge. Maybe that's how Dr. House hurt his leg?
You are a fighter, and this is your reward. Modelo,
I
the
did
mark
not
of a
know
fighter.
That is pretty cool. Bro, this video has
Before she
a
became-
lot of interesting things to learn about in this video. As in most videos, I think we react to. You know what I mean? There's always something to learn, and you know what I mean?
Became a film and music superstar after films like Grease and songs about getting physical, let me hear your body talk, Olivia Newton-John was just an ordinary baby born into a not-so-ordinary family. For starters, her maternal grandfather was a Nobel Prize-winning physicist named Max Born, who was forced to flee Germany during the 1930s due to his Jewish heritage. Max's daughter Irene eventually settled into England with her dad, where she met Bryn Newton-John, a Polish physicist who spent World War II decoding German communications for the secret RAF organization Ultra. Every word in that last sentence was cooler than the previous. In addition to translating German plans, including those for the Battle of El Alamein, Bryn would also interrogate captured Nazis. But instead of brute force interrogation techniques, Bryn's was more of a wine and dine style, which would often garner more useful information. One such instance involved questioning a witness to a plane crash in Scotland. The witness ended up being Deputy Führer Rudolf Hess, who was subsequently captured. Possible, but unlikely inspiration for Olivia's hit, "You're the One That I Want."
Shit.
Actor Anton Yelchin's rising
not know
Hollywood
that.
star was tragically cut short in 2016 when he was just 27 years old. The actor was originally born in the Soviet Union to parents who were always on thin ice. Not in their relationship, but in their job as professional figure skaters. For almost 2 decades, Viktor Yelchin and Irina Korina were considered top celebrities of the Leningrad Ice Ballet. Being of Jewish descent, the couple often faced oppression. For example, despite qualifying for the Winter Olympics in Sapporo in 1972, they were forbidden to compete because of their faith. 6 months after Anton was born, the couple fled to the US to seek asylum. They achieved refugee status and became permanent residents of the United States. Paul Reubens is best known for playing the wackily earnest, perpetual man-child Pee Wee Herman, who was the star of a film and television series that released its final installment just a few years before the actor's death in 2023. After watching him play such a childlike character for so many years, it may surprise you to learn that Reubens' father had a significant role in the creation of the Israeli Air Force. Before the Pee Wee Reubens was born, his father, Milton Rubenfeld, was a pilot flying combat missions for both the Royal Air Force and the U.S. Army during World War II. When the war ended, Rubenfeld's flying prowess earned him a position conducting missions for Israel during the 1948 Arab-Israeli War. As it turns out, Rubenfeld's small battalion of 5 pilots and 4 airplanes would become the founding of the Israeli Air Force. They engaged in a surprise attack on May 29, 1948, close to the Egyptian lines, where Rubenfeld's plane was shot down and forced into the Mediterranean Sea. Milton received numerous injuries but was able to swim to safety and live to fight another day. His contributions to the Israeli Air Force were considered a major turning point in the war. In a rare case of a father following in his son's footsteps, Milton and his wife Judy were cast as extras in their son's 1988 film Big Top Pee-wee. So what do you think? Which prestigious parents were the most surprising? Let us know in the comments below, and while you're there, check out some of these other videos.
Yo, that is really cool. That was another good video we just reacted to. Yo, there was a lot of stuff in there I did not know. That is really cool to learn about. Let me know if you guys knew anything, or if you guys got anything you guys want to add down below in the comments. That's going to do it for this video. Make sure you guys do check the description down below. I got the video and the channel link down below in the description. If you guys want to check it out, you guys can. I will see you guys in the next one. Positivity is key. Motivation is key. Happiness is key. I'll see you guys in the next one. You guys stay safe. Watch out for each other. I'll see you guys in the next video.